I'll ignore that question, Max, in order to say, look, holy knuckle-cracking Kringles on a bullet train with a sack full of ketchup-covered cheese logs.
It does not say that.
We were wrong about Mr. Spatula all along.
What do you mean, we?
This hitman wasn't sent by some lowly goldfish. It was sent from a bleak and desolate wasteland by the most ancient and powerful opponent we've ever faced. A hairy, bloated, pagan god. Santa Claus!
While the vultures may have been circling overhead for quite a while now, Sam & Max Season 2 is more than proof enough that the adventure genre is far from dead. Sam & Max Season 2 also shows once again that the episodic gaming concept can work very, very well. Even if you've never played a Sam & Max game, chances are pretty good that you've at least heard of them. They're two of the most iconic characters of PC gaming. Sam is an oversized suit-wearing giant gun-toting dog, and Max is some kind of hideously deformed rabbit. And their third adventure on the PC, Season 2, is as fun and as funny as Sam & Max has ever been.
What did you get from Santa?
Tuberculosis!
For those of you who've never played a Sam & Max game, Sam & Max are freelance police who take missions from the Commissioner, and along the way manage to solve almost as many problems as they create. You'll inspect the environment, you'll talk to characters, you'll collect items, and you'll solve puzzles. The game adheres to the tried and true adventure formula to the letter, so anyone who's ever played an adventure game will know exactly what to expect. Like Season 1, Season 2 is an episodic game. This means that the whole game is a compilation of 5 smaller games or episodes. Each episode will take you between 2 and 4 hours to complete depending on how stupid you are, meaning the game's lifespan will vary from player to player, but it will probably last you somewhere between 10 and 18 hours. Each episode works as a self-contained story, meaning you could just play episode 1 or episode 4 or any of the others. But there is an overarching storyline which ties everything together, and it's pretty great to see how such crazy storylines even can be tied together. Because the game is episodic, you'll also find yourself in many of the same locations each episode, and you'll be speaking to many of the same characters each episode. But like a television episode, recycling characters and locations shouldn't really automatically be viewed as a bad thing. The characters have different things to say each episode, there are different items and puzzles, and almost every item description will change from one episode to the next. Although you do visit many of the same locations each episode, you will also see very many unique locations as well, ranging from Santa's workshop to a German rave, all the way to hell. While you don't have to have played Season 1 first, and the game doesn't assume that you have, most of the characters and many of the locations in Season 2 are actually introduced in Season 1, and there are tons and tons of callbacks to the first season, so things will go straight over your head if you haven't played the previous game. You'll control Sam with a simple one-button interface. You click where you want Sam to move and he moves there. If you want to talk to someone, you click on them to bring up a dialogue tree. If you want to inspect an item, you click it. Sam will either give you a description of it or pick it up and add it to his inventory. The inventory is a small cardboard box in the lower left corner of the screen. Clicking on it will show all the items Sam currently has. Left-clicking on an item will set it in Sam's hand where he can use it to interact with the world, while right-clicking on an item will trigger a brief description of what that item is. In the upper left corner of the screen is a cog which brings up an options menu where you can save and load the game and tinker with the usual assortment of game options like resolution. This minimalism makes the game extremely accessible to pretty much anyone who knows how to use a mouse. None of the puzzles are hair-pullingly difficult, and veterans of the genre may breeze through entire episodes, but nothing is ever absolutely obvious, and nothing is ever handed to you on a plate. Most episodes will present you with multiple puzzles all at once, and it's pretty great to see how these multifaceted puzzles all connect into each other. While none of the puzzles are exceptionally difficult, there is nevertheless a strong sense of satisfaction and accomplishment when completing a puzzle, especially one of the harder ones. If you do happen to get stuck, there is a hint meter you can adjust. The higher the meter, the more often Max offers hints about where to go and what to do. The hints range from gentle to blatant, but if you do use the hints, you will at least have some sense of satisfaction at having completed the puzzle yourself, making it a much preferable alternative to a walkthrough. The real star of the show is the voice work and dialogue. I have never in my life laughed so hard and so often at computer game dialogue as I did at Sam and Max Season 2. Season 1 was also hilarious, but it was inconsistently hilarious. Some episodes were funny while some others were just so-so. Every episode in Season 2 is laugh out loud, hysterical, belly laugh hilarious. Humour is very subjective, so don't take my word for it, but if you enjoyed Season 1, I think you will absolutely love Season 2. Most of the voice cast of Season 1 returns for Season 2, as well as some hilarious new characters, along with very appropriately inappropriate voices. In Season 2 you'll talk to a camp German vampire raver, you'll talk to Moai heads, and you'll even get to help Satan out. Visually, the game is very simple, and no improvement over Season 1, but the graphics are hard to fault. They are functional and attractive, and almost anyone can buy the game knowing that it'll run just fine on their computer. The characters are very well animated, the facial animations are especially articulate, and the game as a whole is just very nice to look at. Sam and Max Season 2 epitomizes everything I love about gaming. The game is fun, it's funny, it's attractive, it's relaxing but it requires thought, and it's great value even if you only play it once. Anyone who loved Hit the Road or Season 1 should already own this game, and anyone who's new to Sam & Max or the adventure genre as a whole will find Sam & Max Season 2 a great place to start.
We killed your dog.
Oh no!
Yep, he or she ran right in front of our car, and, well...
I tried to draw you a picture, but I ran out of red crayon.
That sounds awful, but I don't have a dog.
I know. We got him for you.
And then we killed him.